The rise of green brands started way back in the 1960s and 70s, where environmental events spurred several actions and responses from governments, NGOs, activists, and appalled consumers. It was through these coercive and normative influences that motivated businesses to adapt and show greater concern towards sustainability, which resulted in the emergence of green brands. It becomes increasingly more difficult to imagine a time when climate change and sustainability weren't a concern. In less than a generation, we have gone from giving little consideration to sustainability to it becoming part of most people's daily lives. However, here's the catch. With so many companies giving information of their green efforts and how supportive they are on matters concerning sustainability, it is often hard for one to get a good perspective of things. Be it for business reputation or just to give consumers a perception, public scrutiny will keep green brands in check and determine their genuineness towards the cause.
Dye is the first fashion label in Singapore that focuses on eco-fashion by producing bamboo clothing. Bamboo plants and fabric are of the world's most sustainable, environmentally friendly, and renewable resource. Dye uses 100% organically grown fiber. Bamboo is naturally grown without usage of any pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers. Bamboo plantations are also large photosynthesis factories which reduces greenhouse gases. Bamboo plants absorb about 5 times the amount of carbon dioxide and produces about 35% more oxygen than an equivalent stand of trees. Growing bamboo improves soil quality and helps rebuild eroded soil. The extensive root system of bamboo holds soil together, prevents soil erosion, and retains water in the watershed. Additionally, bamboo clothing is 100% biodegradable. It can be completely decomposed without producing any pollutants such as methane gas, which is a common byproduct of decomposition in landfills and dams. However, the manufacturing process of bamboo into fabric tarnishes the sustainability and eco-friendly luster that bamboo provides. The process is energy and chemically intensive. The fabric is rendered by cooking it in strong chemical solvents such as lye, carbon disulfide, and other caustic solvents. It is then followed by a complex bleaching process. Such chemicals have been linked to a variety of health problems and neuro disorders, and these are hazardous to the health of fiber manufacturing workers. Now for one, breathing low levels of carbon disulfide can cause tiredness, headaches, and nerve damage. Low levels of exposure to sodium hydroxide can cause irritation to the skin and eyes. They say fast fashion and sustainability do not go hand in hand. However, Japanese clothing brand Uniqlo is a different league from fast fashion. This label has a strong history of being purposefully good to the environment. They believe in their responsibility to design, manufacture, and sell clothing that can be worn for a long time. And they do so by ensuring quality standards are maintained in manufacturing processes. Uniqlo also exercises eco-friendly and socially conscious options by finding appropriate ways to reuse clothing that customers no longer need. In 2001, Uniqlo adopted a closed-loop production system and launched its all-product recycling campaign as part of its corporate social responsibility activities. Customers can send any purchased Uniqlo clothing in stores for reuse and recycling by returning them to the stores or other designated drop-off locations. Every year, approximately 1.34 million items are collected in stores. More than 93% of items collected are reused by donating as relief provisions around the world to refugees, evacuees, disaster victims, homeless people, and expectant mothers in need. 5% of the donated clothes were recycled into fuel for generating power, and the remaining 2% were recycled into insulation material and industrial fiber. Now, many know Uniqlo for producing cheap yet quality basic clothing. But have you ever wondered how do they offer quality at such low prices? Well, that's the controversy. Cheap labor is used to make cheaply constructed garments. In January 2015, Uniqlo has been accused of a number of labor right violations in its Chinese supplier factories, where employees are overworked and underpaid. The employees in Pacific are overworked 124 hours, and those in Luan are overworked 112 hours. Employees are also expected to frequently contribute to service zagyo, which means voluntary overtime with no pay. Additionally, the working environments were unsafe and posed high risk to the employees. Shop floor temperatures were extremely high, dirty sewage was flowing over the floors, ventilations are poor with dense cotton dust filling the air. The risk of electricity leakage were high as well, and these hazards pose serious risk to the workers' health and safety.
Nestle is a ginormous company with many well-known brands such as Kit Kat, Smarties, and L'Oreal. Now let's take a look at Nestle's life cycle assessment. We'll now zoom into Nestle's packaging and waste management efforts. Another familiar brand under Nestle is Nespresso. It has decided to expand its capacity to collect used aluminum capsules to 100% as much as possible. The used capsules collected will be recycled into new capsules, and Nespresso has heavily invested in making it easy as possible for its consumers to return their used capsules. Since the launch of its first recycling system in Switzerland in 1991, Nestle has installed more than 14,000 capsule collection points across 31 countries and a home collection service available in 15 markets. In Singapore, Nespresso developed its own collection network for used capsules. In 2012, the first Nespresso recycling collection point was installed at Nespresso Iron Boutique. The second recycling point was at Takashimaya. In 2013, Nespresso SG started the Recycling at Home initiative, providing door-to-door step collection service of used capsules for Nespresso Club members when delivering a new order. This way, Nespresso has helped the environment by producing less waste on Earth and less harmful gases emitted from the combustion of overall waste. However, how come is it that Nestle is known to be one of the most hated companies in the world despite their many contributions? Nestle has been draining the aquifers it controls as much as possible without any regards to sustainable usage or environmental concerns. Unsustainable usage of aquifer water can lead to a significant decrease in water levels and can even exhaust the aquifer. That's right, underground water isn't the inexhaustible source many people believe to be. Nestle are basically overpumping and are readily using natural resources for profit gains. This is affecting the Pakistani livelihood, and Nestle is not doing good for the environment, depleting natural resources quickly instead of sustaining them.
Actually, I'm thinking of buying a new BM car, but I don't really know which car to get. Do you think you can recommend me one?
Okay, first and foremost, I think we have our I models. We have our i3, we have our i8. These are the most eco-friendly models in its class, combining the conventional engine, which is a 3-cylinder, and also the hybrid motor itself. So this is the most eco-friendly model that currently we have in the stable.
Oh, okay. So what are some of the green initiatives that BMW has been doing over the years? Can you advise me on that?
Okay. Firstly, I think BMW has so-called, if I'm not mistaken, they have reused their waste. So meaning they sieve out whatever can be reused, they make sure that it's recycled. When those are really waste, then will become waste. Secondly, of course, as worldwide phenomenon, BMW has also followed the worldwide trend of reducing emissions for vehicles, probably up to 40 to 45%. And of course, most important, and it's because they started the green supply chain. So actually they fostered many innovative things with the supplies itself. So making that the whole supply chain is greener.
Oh, I see. So will you think that BMW is a green brand?
Definitely. We have class-leading so-called innovations in our cars itself. So I think we are a very green brand.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Leopard.
BMW has often been recognized as the leader in sustainability in the automobile industry and one of the top 10 sustainable businesses in the world. One major reason is because of their long-term collaborations with suppliers to find ways to integrate sustainability into its entire value chain. Let's take a closer look at how they do this. The first way is through the efficient use of resources by setting stiff goals and actions for suppliers to meet across the globe. They have adopted multiple measures to assess suppliers' efficiency, recording their consumption before reassessing their contract each year. This method has proven results, with a saving of 21 million tons of CO2 in 2014 alone. The second way is through training of purchasers and suppliers. BMW enabled them to identify potential for sustainable operations and uses case studies to convince them to take the initiative and implement it in practice. BMW also offers many training courses, such as a 2-day course to boost their workers' knowledge on product sustainability. However, BMW is not without its fair share of criticism. They were labelled as hypocrites for opposing European Commission proposals for tougher limits on new cars' carbon emission by 2020. All in all, this is just one criticism, and BMW is still seen in a good light as one of the greenest brands in the automobile industry.
To put the most eco-friendly and sustainable face on the production of bamboo fabric, Dye could minimize usage of toxic chemicals in manufacturing processes by adopting hydrolysis alkalization and multi-phase bleaching. This is a rather benign process in utilizing caustic soda and bleach. Dye could also avoid potential harms upon employees' health by equipping them with the necessary protective clothing and providing training to ensure that employees use the correct methods in handling toxic chemicals. In addition to the all-product recycling initiative, Uniqlo could also encourage consumers to reuse and recycle clothes by advertising on its online sites and physical stores to spread awareness of the different creative ways to transform, DIY, and restyle consumers' unwanted Uniqlo clothes into a fresh new wardrobe. This will allow a greater number of unwanted Uniqlo clothes to be reused.
Nestle is recommended to increase institutional responsibility in the communities they are extracting resources from so as to maintain the social contract and legitimacy of its business. Hence, to compensate for overpumping aquifers in Pakistan and depriving the locals of potable water, Nestle could consider donating bottles of clean drinking water to the local Pakistani communities.
The automobile industries are recommended to create greater transparency in the design of vehicles to prevent cheating automotive software from being used. Additionally, they could collaborate with electricity producers and increase funding through working with the government to improve energy efficiency of the power grid. This is because the power grid that generates electricity for the electricity cars indirectly run on harmful gases and coal. Thus, it is important to find greater ways to incorporate natural gases to make electricity vehicles truly greener than conventional fuel cars.
In conclusion, there are various perspectives that one can take as to whether a brand is really green. Very often, stakeholders are not only critical about products, they also demand that the overall corporate actions, processes, and values must exceed sustainability expectations. Therefore, compliance marketing is definitely a thing of the past, and the way forward is for businesses to continually seek improvements to deliver superior value in terms of the triple bottom line in sustainability. However, this increased pressure towards green brands might have led to false approaches of green marketing or even unethical events happening since it is not being complemented by a supportive compromise in terms of cost, performance, and convenience that are hampered by green innovations. But even so, these failures and mistakes of companies should not be a verdict that brands are not really green. In fact, it is how they have corrected the errors and mitigated negative practices that actually define them. As such, sustainability issues can certainly be solved through the combined efforts of companies and consumers. Both parties must truly believe in the long-term benefits of sustainability and not be short-sighted in their actions. Ultimately, instead of just looking at quantitative or qualitative measures such as the life cycle assessment, ecological footprint, or rankings in the Dow Jones Sustainability Indexes, which serves as benchmarks, it is more about the attitude that determines if a brand is really green. Businesses should now not only be concerned about how to green themselves, but to also start initiatives of fostering a positive and fun attitude for consumers towards sustainability, since they are the ones that will have an impact on consumers' perceptions.